Hey there, everybody, it's Russ and Laura from Pathless Peld, and today we're going to answer a question that we get a ton, that we see a lot in different bike touring boards, and that is how to get your partner into bike touring.
Or, I think maybe another way to phrase it isn't so much about how do you get your person into this biking thing, because I don't think any of us really want to drag anybody into it, but it's more about how do you share biking, how do you frame it so that this person in your life is going to want to do it also.
Yes, I think you want less a hostage situation and more a partner in the adventure. And I think to kind of help illustrate what we think works, we're going to talk a little bit about our very first bike tour, which was almost like 12 years ago.
12 years ago, holy cow. Yes, because as I remember it, you kind of ambushed me at the door when I came home from work at the end of a long day and said, wait, guess what? We're going on a bike tour.
Yes, I think.
And I think my reaction was something like, no. No way, no how, that sounds awful.
And that first attempt to get you, probably not so successful.
No.
But I came back around.
Yes.
And so what did I do differently the second time?
Well, you wisely went back to the drawing board and thought about, I think, how to frame it in a way that was less about demanding what it was that you wanted and more about what would make for a good experience for both of us, right? So the second attempt, you'd actually talked to somebody who had suggested a route. Mm-hmm. So you came back with, okay, how about this? And you framed it up as this great potential experience where we were going to take Amtrak to this little stop called Surf right on the beach. And then we were going to ride this route that you already knew from this friend that you'd already talked to. We're going to ride out to this little town of Solvang, cute little Danish town. We're going to stay in this cute little motel with a windmill in the middle of wine country. And we're going to ride around and have picnics and drink wine. And then you finished it off with the coup, which was, it'll be just like we're in France.
In retrospect, like thinking, breaking it down, that second attempt in convincing, in having a willing partner in the bike touring experience, you make it turnkey.
Yes.
So a lot of the decisions, logistical things were pre-planned, they were vetted. It wasn't going to be a big unknown. Another thing was when we were doing that trip, the movie Sideways had just come out. We were both really into that movie. It was about drinking wine in that wine country of Solvang. So also framing it in another activity that we both like to do. Mm-hmm. So if your partner is maybe just getting into cycling, or cycling isn't their primary passion, but they love something else. So maybe setting up the tour so it encapsulates that other passion.
And I think like the big thing that really worked for me that I remember very strongly is that after you painted this whole picture, I still wasn't necessarily convinced that this was something that I wanted to do, but you had gone to so much effort.
She felt bad. That's a trick. Make them feel bad.
So I think my response was fine. You plan it, you make all the reservations, you do all the legwork, and I will show up willingly. And so I think that was a big part of it, that it wasn't then incumbent on me to also do all of the planning to make this whole thing happen. It was easy. It was, I just got to show up, go on a vacation, go ride my bike. And so I think that that's really a big part of it. So, your partner or whoever you want to take along is liable to have some concerns, some fears, some, just things that they're not looking forward to. And listen to what those are, right? So somebody might say, I'm not in for a long, hard ride. So, keep the mileage low, keep the climbing to a minimum. Somebody might not want to be out there with traffic, find a trail somewhere. It might not want to, the concern might be, I don't want to have to, ride all day and then set up camp, cook a meal, do all these chores, all that sort of thing. So how can you remove those barriers, those obstacles? And I feel like that's what you did by booking a hotel. We just went out to eat, and that was great. Our first trip was just a weekend. So it wasn't this big commitment. We stayed in one room. You're not having to carry your stuff around with you every day. So I think, just taking away obstacles, right?
Right. So make it easy. take away any possible objections.
And then frame it up like a great story. Like, hey, it'll be like going to France.
So that is what's known as the inception technique. So I think one thing that is interesting is like it did take multiple attempts.
Yes.
You know, and it is, I joke about the inception, but it is kind of planting the seed, letting it germinate, you know, maybe letting you know, dream up your kind of expectations around the activity.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, let it be part of a conversation. Don't expect that, you know, there is a silver bullet out there that like, you're going to throw this idea out once, and if they say no that first time, then it's done and off the table for forever. You know, talk about it.
It's not a matter of, you know, getting your partner to do something. It's about creating the conditions in which, you know, success can happen.
Right. Creating an experience that you can share together, that you will both want to go off and do this trip together, and you will both, you know, enjoy it and hopefully want to do it again.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have you successfully or unsuccessfully been able to create the conditions for which you're touring with your partner? Let me know how that went in the comments. And as always,
Keep us upside down.